Well, I noticed a lot of new faces this evening, and I'm so glad you all came. And I want you to know that this is a safe place to share. So if you want to tell us your story, there'll be no judgment.
Hi, my name's Charlie, and as you might remember, I have a problem. I'm addicted to cars. I have a love-hate relationship with them, much like this 280 that's sitting behind me. I love it, but right now it's not very happy. I've got to replace the taillight assembly, and so it's stuck in my garage until I can get that fixed, because it's getting dark so early right now. I can't really take it to work or do much with it. So I was thinking, Happy New Year, by the way, that I've been seeing a bunch of these lists, and a lot of the lists are, top this, top 10 cars of this, top 10 SUVs, top whatever. But one that I saw today I thought was really interesting, and that is most anticipated cars of 2025. And this is a Consumer Reports list. So I wanted to see what you guys thought and get some feedback and let you know, out of the ones on the list, which ones I would agree with, I guess. So first off, let me say there's probably 28 cars on this list, and 90% of them are SUVs. I just want to go on the record as saying I'm not really excited about any SUVs coming. I don't dislike SUVs. I like them like everybody else. They're handy, they're comfortable, they're efficient as far as if you have a family and all that good stuff. But I don't know, I'm just tired of them. I don't know why the car gods decided that that's all that anybody wants to see on the road, and all car manufacturers are going to switch everything to an SUV, and I don't know, I'm over it. So just know that there's a lot of SUVs obviously coming down the pipeline, and some of them are cool, some of them are nice looking, some are better than others. I'm sure some of the features are really cool, but I just can't get excited about an SUV. I'm just tired of them. I prefer looking at a car, and I wish that there were more manufacturers supplying options for, coupes and sedans and just beautiful cars, because some of us out here still like them. So anyways, again, lots of cars on this list, but I would say the first one from the list that really piques my interest is going to be the Audi A6 E-Tron. Now, this is a mid-sized 4-door EV. Yes, this is an electric vehicle. I'm also not super stoked about all the EVs coming out, because they generally tend to look kind of similar. I do love my Mach-E, which I think looks pretty unique and more reminiscent of a Mustang, which obviously I love my Mustangs. But in that same spirit, this Audi looks a lot like your standard A5 or A7 sport models. So it's a good looking car, just happens to be an EV. Powertrain is going to be pretty good. I think 362 horsepower. Rear wheel drive would be the base model, and then there's an all-wheel drive E-Tron Quattro all-wheel drive, which produces 422 horsepower, and then there's a high performance all-wheel drive S6 version, which is going to be 496 horsepower or 543 horsepower with launch control. Not sure what the difference is between those two as far as trim levels, but that's a lot of horsepower. Again, we're talking about EVs, so that's not necessarily super impressive one way or the other, because all EVs are pretty quick. I would say the kicker on this one is that we're looking at a base price of $82,000 upwards to $108,000 for the higher trim models. So probably not something I'm going to ever want to spend that much money on, but it is a pretty nice looking car, especially for an EV. Next car on the list, and this one kind of surprises me because this is a Dodge Charger. Now, when they first announced that the Dodge Charger, well, that Dodge in general was getting rid of V8s, And the Dodge Charger they unveiled was this electric monstrosity with crazy V8 recorded sounds that were growling and roaring as the thing came out. I was like, they're killing this poor car. I did like the way it looked though. And what's interesting is I didn't know this until just very recently, but the EV is not going to be the only option. I guess they are offering this in a 6-cylinder, high performance 6-cylinder option, which is going to offer, I mean, it's twin turbocharged inline 6, available with 420 or 550 horsepower. So we're looking at an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is probably great. They're all-wheel drive, which is interesting. And I just think the thing looks really, really sleek. It's a really nice looking design, especially the coupe is what I'm looking at right now. So I am looking forward to that, especially now that there is a gas option. I wish there was still a V8 option, but what are you gonna do? These are gonna be, the electric one is going from 60 to 73,000 in price, and the gas will start at 40,000 and go upwards to $70,000, probably for the highest level performance model. Next on the list, I think it might be the most exciting one on the list, to be honest. I think the Charger looks the best out of everything, but I am excited about this Honda Prelude. Now, Honda Prelude, when I was a kid, they were so cool. Everybody wanted one. Nobody could afford one, not teenagers anyway. So I didn't know anybody with one, but we all drooled over them. The Prelude was actually discontinued in 2001. And they've got, obviously, a cult following from all different body styles. Preludes are still very popular. But Honda's bringing it back, and this thing has got like a retro vibe to it. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Genesis Coupe, or the Infinities, the Infiniti G35, 37. It's kind of a similar vibe to that. Very cool, very sloping roof line. I guess Nissan Z would be another one. This is going to have a dual motor hybrid powertrain. So this is going to be a hybrid. I don't know if that's good or bad. Obviously it's good for when you're talking about efficiency and saving money and fuel, but performance, I have no idea. So jury's out as far as how fun this thing will be to drive, but it does look really, really cool, and I would love to see these things back out on the road. These are scheduled for late 2025. Price is going to be $30,000 to $40,000 on these things, so we'll see how that goes. But super cool to see a Prelude come back. Next one on the list is going to be, well, I did say that I didn't want any SUVs, and technically there is one, and it's going to be the Scout, International Scout, the Terra and the Traveler. So I'm really excited about this. The SUV, I guess, is pretty reminiscent of like the Bronco. Anybody can say that they really love the old International Scouts. They were a really cool truck, and they still have a cult following. You still see them at car shows. They look great fixed up, and it's nice to see them. They've recaptured that vibe with both the truck and the SUV. They actually sort of have a Rivian vibe, to be honest with you. But they look really, really good. Scouts are going to be electric vehicles. Looks like they're pretty fast. 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds. They're going to have a 7,000 pound tow capacity. Yeah, we all know how towing looks better on paper than in real life when it comes to EVs. But a 350 mile range isn't terrible. There's a Harvester Edition, which is an additional option, which gets a gas-powered range extender. So, you know, you've got your EV, and then once your 350 mile range comes to an end, you know, I don't know exactly how it's going to work, if it's going to be I guess so, and you just flip the switch and then you get, you know, an additional 150 miles of fuel range, so a total of 500 miles of range. So that's fantastic. Like, that's a really good idea. I know with my Mach-E, that's something that's always a concern, where I get range anxiety for taking any trips. I still haven't taken that thing on a trip, and I even have the Tesla adapter, and I still haven't tried it. So having that gas safety net would be a game changer. I really dig that. It looks like this one's not coming in 2025. This is going to be a 2027, and they don't even know the price of it. So how excited I get over this thing is going to definitely depend on that price. But it's definitely cool, and I'm glad to see that thing coming back. So the last one on this list, from this list out of the 28, is going to be the Volkswagen ID Buzz. They're already out there, and I think they look really cool. I like them. I don't know. There's no way in God's green earth I would ever buy one for the amount of money that they're asking for them. But I do think they're super cool. This is going to be an electric vehicle it's just a throwback to the classic microbus, Volkswagen microbuses from the 60s mainly is what they're known for. But they made them for a long time. There's a lot of cool features on the interior of these things, which is really cool. They're really, really roomy. I think even the mid-level seats go back and forth to change up the configurations as far as leg room and room in general. 282 horsepower, which is not very much, which is, hey, that's a throwback to classic Volkswagen. Dual motor, 330 horsepower configuration with all-wheel drive. That's going to be the step up. The panoramic sunroof is really cool with electrochromatic tinting. I think that's cool. I think there's a Harman Kardon stereo that's available. That's obviously cool. Heated seats, I believe, everywhere, which is really nice. Now the kicker, though, is that these things are like $60,000 to $70,000. So that's a lot to spend on a Volkswagen. And this one's it's super cool, it's super retro, and that's something that's attractive to me. But if you're just somebody who's looking for luxury, a creature comforts that you're gonna get, again, there's some cool gizmos and cool ideas inside of this, but it's not really set up like a luxury car. So a $70,000 price tag that's pretty steep. I believe on Hoovie's video I just watched, he said that VW has acknowledged that they know that this is not going to be setting the world on fire with sales. This is supposed to be a halo car to get people into the dealerships, and by sheer measure of the amount of attention this car is going to get, somebody, I mean, that's it's exactly what it will do. So this is an attention grabber. I just don't know that it would be worth the price tag to many people, but it's still super cool, and I'm glad to see it on the road, and I've been excited to see one. I still haven't seen one in real life, but I've seen plenty of them as far as car reviews at this point. Okay, and for the last car, I'm going to choose something that's not on the Consumer Report list, but I have seen it several other places, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Clearly, it's not something I'll ever own, at least not unless some unforeseen circumstances come and I become very wealthy over the next few years. But the Aston Martin Vanquish is back, baby, and I'm excited about it. This thing looks so cool. It's powered by a twin turbocharged 5.2 liter V12 engine that delivers a class-leading 825 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. That's insane. Paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has a top speed of 214 miles an hour and goes 0 to 60 in like 3.2 seconds. So
Super cool looking. I love it. $429,000. So no danger of me tripping into one of these in 2025 unless I were to win a lottery, and of which case you guys will be the first to know, because I'll do a great car Glutton video on that, baby.
So that's my list. Well, I should say that's Consumer Reports list and the ones off of it that I'm interested in, which you can see is not very many. But again, the SUV thing, I don't know. Nothing wrong with SUVs, and there's some pretty nice looking ones if you want to go check out the list for yourself. I'll leave the link in the description. Otherwise, hey, give me some comments and let me know if you agree with me, if I'm wrong, if there's other ones on the list, if there's other ones that aren't on the list that you are looking forward to. Let me know, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, click the bell to be alerted for new notifications, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one behind the wheel of another car. Thanks.